All right, I don't want to be a spoiler kind of person, but I recently, June, saw a film with Hugh Grant. It was pretty good, actually. It was called The Rewrite. And the storyline is, without giving it away, he plays a washed-up screenwriter who takes on a teaching job. And there was one scene where he was at dinner with a student, which is probably a no-no, but anyway, we'll leave that aside for a second. And he's had too many glasses of wine, so she says, "I'm going to drive you home because I don't want you to get a DUI." And he says, "What about my car?" She looks at it and says, "Oh, it's a Hyundai. It'll be there in the morning." That is so rude, isn't it, June? Because Hyundai is doing really well in America.
Yeah, very rude. So I guess, Bernie, I guess what you're trying to say is that Hyundai's image so far was mostly in the lower end cars, but now, again, like we saw in the preview, the higher end cars that Hyundai Motors and Kia Motors are making are really making up a big part of the U.S. sales, especially in the first quarter of this year. So Hyundai Motor Group, both Hyundai and Kia, U.S. sales of its higher-end cars were up more than 100%, more than double during the first quarter year on year. Combined sales of Hyundai Motors Genesis and Ecus models and Kia Motors K9, which is their higher-end sedan in the U.S., were up 106% at more than 7,500 cars sold in the first 3 months of this year. The market share for just 3 of these cars together were more than 10% of the entire high-end segment in the U.S. Again, this is a record high in terms of market share, quarterly market share for Hyundai Group, and also by ranking. I guess this is where I was surprised. The Genesis sedan, which is Hyundai's high-end sedan, was number 3 in the U.S. In terms of sales in this segment, and number 1 was BMW's 5 Series, and number 2 was Mercedes-Benz E-Class. So the sales numbers between the E-Class, the 5 Series, and the Hyundai Genesis sedan were actually not that different in terms of cars sold. So we are seeing Hyundai really catching up in this segment, and again, a record high for Hyundai in this segment. Bertie, back to you.
You mentioned a model from Kia called the K9. Is that K9 as in dog, as opposed to Fiat? Where do they come up with these weird
That's what
names
everyone
for
says.
cars? Really? Oh, it's K9.
Actually, so
well, it's like
when I first... Yeah, when
K9,
I first
like a
heard
canine
K9,
unit.
I thought dog too, but it's like K and then 9.
Yeah, but that means dog, like a police K9 unit. It's the German Shepherd or Belgian Malinois
I know.
unit. I guess, so I mean if you're appealing to dog lovers, with enough cargo hold in the back to carry dogs to the vet and to the country parks, I guess that's a good thing. The Genesis, does it compete against the, what is it, the Equus or Equis W? I've never seen a spelling like that before.
The Ecus.
Equus. Yeah, those look like Lexus killers.
It's
like
the
a
Ecus.
LS460.
Yeah,
really
it's really, really big.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at a Kia Morning, by the way. I'm going down market. Does that model exist over there in Korea? Really, really tiny little micro
yeah,
car?
it's really, really small though. It's almost as small as the Mercedes Smart car. I don't know. I don't know if it's big enough for you.
Well, it's yeah. Well, the issue is getting dinged in the parking lots here. It's not about me. It's about parking. That's all. It's just being practical. All right. Thanks, June.